Yeah. So that, to give you perspective, we've owned this building, continue to own it for now 14 years. It's not only been one of like an amazing asset, but it's been one of the best performing assets too. And so it's been a cash cow. We've owned it for many years. It generates the highest rent per square foot by far in any building anywhere near in that neighborhood, but it still keeps the prices approachable from that perspective. And that neighborhood was voted one of the most coolest, trendiest, hippest neighborhoods today.
Feel a little better about it now.
Oh yeah, it's like a no-brainer.
So cool,
Unbelievable. Yeah. I genuinely, again, we saw that vision come through, and today, it's like a version of Brooklyn from a cool.
And are there any rent restrictions of any type on this property, or?
Again, what's really interesting is they have an abbreviation today called NOAH, natural occurring affordable housing. The average unit size there is 275 square feet.
Wow.
So
just high density of studios.
344 mainly studios, some one bedrooms, and average is 275 square feet. So you synthetically have a cap on like how much someone would be willing to pay. And so there's no restrictive affordable housing required or needed. It's just as much as you can. And we do generate, I don't know, maybe as much as $5 a square foot there. So it's like $1,300. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the beauty of the strategy, is like you can have low rents, but have a high rent per square foot. So from an investor and consumer standpoint, you can solve
probably
both
more
points.
Turnover, I guess, right?
In general, when we started, we would see like in studios as a business, 40 to 50% high turnover. I think we're probably depending on the given times, could be as high as 60 to 70%, depending on the market conditions. I think that's also, we have a higher retention across many things. Flats creates this amazing resident experience, from a physical standpoint, and it creates these amenity-rich environments where you have these people staying a lot longer. And then we built and spun off a prop technology called Livly. And that resident engagement and that technology has really helped it increase retention. I think our data, our statistics are now like 20% lift of increasing retention. And so a combination of all of that recipe has really allowed and continue to perfect,
more stickiness with residents.
Let's talk about that for a second. So I know that when you kind of launched the Flats brand, that really was the amenity arms race, kind of in all multifamily. Now that you're in your stage 3.0 or 4.0, what do you think is the most necessary amenities for a new project?
I think it becomes. I think there's a combination. For when you think about physical spaces, we think about amenities and how you program them and activate them and create functionality. Because a lot of times people used to create business centers, then they call them co-working.
Totally.
Like real, like, what I mean? It's like, and so the understanding your demographic, sociographic, I think we do well. So when we deliver the spaces, gyms, flex workspace, activated coffee shops and bars, that's the physical space. From a technology standpoint, is can you create a seamless, unified experience? One app that would be remote control, everything from payments, package management, maintenance, communication, building a social internal network to communicate with residents, to build relationships, then activating spaces from classes, from fitness to other types of events.
Activating spaces within the property or in the neighborhood?
First within the property, because again, you can then creating workouts, events, and then that type of thing has become very valuable. And then I think whether it's 3.0 or 4.0, the next evolution, and this is like buzzword, but AI, I really think is how do you automate experience through and simplify your time within buildings, not just from the consumer standpoint, but how can you provide that same service from a property management standpoint? And by really doing that, I think that's going to be the biggest differentiator, from the ability to provide quality service, a seamless, frictionless experience. Like
what would an example of incorporating AI into something like that be? Like a chat bot, or like what would that mean?
Yeah, I think we're way beyond chatbots today. Like,
I mean, I'm trying to think.
Absolutely. Well, today, like when you think about incorporating a conversational LLM into your experience, from a maintenance and customer success, you can create 24/7 response time, right? and really be able to solve problems at any given time from a consumer standpoint. One of the low-hanging fruits just from the beginning of your first step of experience, the moment you decide you want to lease an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the experience. You go onto Zillow or now Google, because they're going to take over Zillow. But you go in and you say, I love this apartment. I want to go and see it. And I want to go see it right now. And I don't want. So you literally would talk to it, to an AI. There's many different names, like Alexa. And you would talk to them and you'd set an appointment instantaneously, right? And so there's if you don't respond within 17 minutes, they'll go to your competitor. That's like the number on a leasing standpoint.
Is that the number?
That's like the approximate number.
When somebody needs an apartment,
you want an apartment, you have 17 minutes to respond now. That's like the response time. Otherwise, you lose it to your competitor, theoretically, you know? So that sets a standard of 24/7 from the moment you want to start. Then you say, okay, I want to set an appointment instantaneously. I want to respond and talk. And 75% probably would rather do it all through text. Okay, so that would be the first. You can set an appointment, and now you can be verified as a real ID person. They can say that it's really you, and then create a self-guided tour and not have to see anybody and be able to go through that experience.
Get the lockbox, get whatever. The AI will tell you everything that you're going to have in the building.
All the amenities.
Yeah.
And then you say, I really love it. And if you sign today, you essentially can get $500 off your move-in.
Yeah, right.
You can literally sign this lease